Wubba, wubba, wubba. Happy Saturday, y'all. It's your man, the talented Mr. Drayton. Welcome to Male Media Mind. We're a grassroots organization, and happy Indictment Saturday. Second Indictment Saturday to you all. Good to see you all. Good to see you all. Wait, is that somebody knocking at my door? Let me see who this is. Is that somebody knocking at my door? Oh, Cream, are you knocking at my back door?
What's going on?
Y'all letting me in the back door. Cream's coming in my back door. Listen, welcome to the show, as I do each and every Saturday. Well, every Saturday that I can. Yeah, thank y'all for bearing with me. I bring to y'all my thoughts, attitudes, and shit that I dislike when I drag along my friends. Always to my immediate right, the co-founder and co-chief of M3 himself, my man, 20 grand. The Sultan above the clouds this morning, the best Afro in the business, Malcolm Travers. What's popping?
Hey, happy Saturday.
Yep, that's all we get today. That's all we get today, y'all. Don't y'all ask that boy no questions. Yes, his live from the Cream Tom Joyner studio in his home.
What's up?
That's right. The best podcast in the business. The host of the Cream Diggler podcast, Cream Diggler himself. You can check him out on all the places that you get your favorite cream and stuff. Oh yeah, you're streaming stuff. Yeah, my tongue is not coming along.
I figured yes, the visuals will help.
Yeah, there will be lots of flubs going on here. So y'all go ahead and put me on
That's
YouTube.
how live works.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and put me on YouTube. Talk about me. Wait a minute, it's somebody else at my back door. Johnny. Y'all gonna stop wanting to enter my back door late.
Wait, hold on. Who entering in your back door?
Yes, that's what you do. You come late, you come to the back door.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah, but so can we read your T-shirt today? Can you come a little closer so that people can see it? No, you cut off the bottom. Stand up a little bit. Balls deep, lady. Balls. That's how I feel today. That's right. That's how I feel today. So,
Slapping on the back of your back door. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
See what happens when you come in late, knocking on my back door. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of balls deep, we're going to start with the news first. And I say speaking of balls deep because your man, the former president of the United States, is now balls deep. I'm probably like the rest of America. I thought this was kind of one of those things that were they were just talking shit, but they got him dead to center. So go ahead, Malcolm, roll that beautiful bean footage.
Donald Trump has been hit with more criminal charges. The former president faces 7 counts over hundreds of classified documents taken to his home in Florida after he left the White House. This is historic. He's the first former president to face federal criminal charges, but it doesn't stop him from continuing his run to return to the White House. This is also the second time in a little more than 2 months that Trump has been indicted. He's also facing state charges in New York for allegedly falsifying business records. Trump will appear in federal court in Miami on Tuesday to respond to this latest indictment. He could face years in prison if convicted. Air quality on the East Coast should start to improve tomorrow. Here's the latest forecast. Wildfire smoke will stick around today, but it should be better than yesterday. After that, winds are expected to push much of it over the ocean. But keep in mind that fires are still burning in Canada. Canada's fire season is also just beginning, so winds could bring smoke back to different parts of the U.S. in the next few weeks or months. This has been a new experience for the eastern part of the U.S. The West Coast has been dealing with wildfire issues like this for years. If you want to check your local air quality, go to airnow.gov. A key new phase of the war in Ukraine is underway. Ukraine has launched its long-expected counteroffensive against occupying Russian forces. On Wednesday night, it stepped up attacks in the country's southeast region. Here's what's at stake. Ukraine is trying to retake all land seized by Russia since its invasion last year. This could break months of stalemate on the battlefield. One key area to watch is Zaporizhia. If Ukraine retakes this region, it could disrupt critical Russian supply lines by cutting off the land route connecting Russian-occupied Crimea to the Russian mainland. The Supreme Court handed down a win for the Voting Rights Act. Yesterday, justices ruled that Alabama's new voting maps were unfair to Black voters. Only 1 out of 7 congressional districts in Alabama had a majority of Black voters, even though they make up more than 25% of the state's population. This was an unexpected decision. The court has recently been more skeptical of protections in the Voting Rights Act. If the ruling had gone the other way, it would have been a major change in U.S. election law, one that could have led to fewer non-white lawmakers in Congress. This is one of many rulings the Supreme Court will be handing out this month. Major decisions on student loan forgiveness, affirmative action, and more are still to come.
Supreme Court justices were supposed to file their annual financial disclosures yesterday. Two justices, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, asked for an extension. This may seem a little dry, but we're talking about it because revelations about Thomas's finances have put the court under pressure to improve financial transparency. Reporting this year uncovered that a major Republican donor treated Thomas to lavish vacations and reportedly paid boarding school tuition for Thomas's grandnephew. A conservative judicial activist also paid the Supreme Court justice's wife thousands for consulting work, but deliberately left her name off the paperwork. None of this was reported on Thomas's past disclosure forms, raising ethics and conflict of interest questions. Companies are getting more aggressive about bringing people back into the office. For example, Google issued an ultimatum yesterday. It told employees that they must come in at least 3 times a week, or it could show up on their performance reviews. Meanwhile, tech giant Salesforce said it'll donate for each day workers show up. Other big corporations like Disney, Starbucks, and AT&T have recently mandated office returns too. But these measures don't appear to be working so far. Office occupancy remains below 50% of pre-pandemic levels. Many workers aren't willing to give up the flexibility they've gained since 2020.
I know that's right. They're gonna have to drag my butt into the office. I am not going back up in there.
I'm surprised that it was
They trying to get my ass back in the office too.
Stretch, they trying to get you, Stretch.
Yes, they are aggressively trying.
And this is the funny thing. We were talking about what was a DEI and how companies are incorporating DEI basically for profit reasons. This to me is like one of those anti-profit reasons. Like it seems like they're not getting more productivity out of workers when they're working on site, is that they have more oversight and control.
Exactly.
You know, it really is just about a feeling of having more control over your workers. And it's
from an HR standpoint, all you would have to do is change the screening process, and you just hire more of a self-starters and go-getters.
yeah,
You know what
I
I
mean, I'm sure they're trying. I mean, that's the thing.
5 questions on the personality thing. 5 questions will find you a different kind of candidate. And then
The
you
thing
just
is,
weed
though,
out.
I think the standards have changed, though, and I agree. Like, there are a lot of people are going, but when you say that they've only gone back to 50% of their capacity pre-pandemic, which is to say, basically half the people have not come back, even though that most of them are trying to get them back. It says that it's more than just a few holdouts.
It is. It's a whole industry. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Because my
Well,
thing is this, that a lot of people can like I know somebody who goes into the office, he's on a hybrid schedule, but what he does in the office is the exact same thing he can do at home. So it's like there's no reason for him to be in the office other than they just want him there. Because I think it's like an oversight thing.
Yeah, but it's also economic. So the economic engine churns when you go out of the house. You need gas, you need food, you got to buy pants. You know what I mean?
The cities are struggling. Yeah, no, it's true. Like inner cities are gutted. Like a good example of Chicago, something like, you know, most of the people who, you know, occupy the city don't live there; they work there, right?
Right.
And because they're not working there, a lot of the businesses that would typically do business aren't doing business because no one's in the city to, you know.
Well, here's my dilemma. Okay, pre-pandemic, we were in the office, of course, and then we went home. Actually, when did the pandemic break out? In March of 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, it was only in the schools here in Atlanta, but that next week we were at home. They didn't even wait for it to spread everywhere. We were already at home.
By probably like the beginning of April, most people were.
So I've been at home since, okay?
Yeah.
And we didn't have, our team while I was at home, our team split. There's one group went this way and I went with this other group, but we only had a few people. So they had to hire a whole bunch of people. Most of the people they hired are in San Antonio, Texas area. There are only 4 people here from the original team in Atlanta, and this is where the office is. The ones that they hired in San Antonio, 3 of the people used to live here. Well, they were here in Atlanta because they won't. Background story is the office used to be in San Antonio, Texas. They closed it. They moved it to all the operations to Atlanta. Then they moved all the operations to India. I got transferred to another team. Then they brought the work back from India back to Atlanta, but we were in the pandemic thing, so we only had a few people left in Atlanta to take over the responsibility. So they had to hire a whole bunch of people. Those people that left Atlanta go back to San Antonio, hired a whole bunch of people over there, and now it's about 40 people in San Antonio, Texas, only 5 here in Atlanta. But they want all the Atlanta people to go back into the office, but the San Antonio people can stay at home. Bullshit. If I have to go to the office, they have to go to the office. That's
I
my
agree with
stance
that.
right now.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm still sitting my black ass here at the office. I mean, at home, because 75% of our team is in Texas, but they ass get to stay home, and I gotta get in that Atlanta traffic and drive 58 minutes to work. Bullshit.
Yeah.
What's their explanation for you having to go into the office, but the San Antonio people get to
Because
stay
the
at home?
CEO of the whole company, like all these other companies, wants people to come back into the office. Well, you should have thought about that shit when you tried to rebuild a team and only hire people in San Antonio where there is no office.
Right.
But again, why if a majority of the people are in San Antonio, is there an explanation as to why the Atlanta group needs to come back in, but the San Antonio group doesn't?
Because there's an office here. This is
Because-
where the actual office
Because
is.
I said so,
okay.
basically.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Okay.
But
You
the thing
really-
about it is, aren't a lot of these jobs people are at will employees? So it's like,
Yeah.
people better be careful, because at some point, if the company wants what they want, they're gonna start figuring out ways to get what they want or get the people in.
Now, see, the
what they
other
want.
thing about that, Cream, though, economically, the company is kind of a barrel because the job market is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me throw another thing
Yeah,
out.
it's not that easy. It costs money to retrain people, and you might be waiting months before you get someone else. And guess what? Those people are going to want to work from home too.
Well, let me throw something else. Let me throw something else at you. While we were out in the pandemic, our building used to have 3 floors, A wing, B wing, and the middle. They sold the B wing to another company.
Mhm.
The middle is now just a reception area to whichever company you got. On the wing they kept, they sold the first floor. So we only got the 2 top floors. So where the fuck am I supposed to sit? I'm not renting no cubicle. I'm not signing no shit when I have my cubicle, that's my cubicle, because I'm decorated the fuck out how the fuck I want to decorate it. I ain't taking my shit down every goddamn day so that I can come back and have to put the shit back up. And I don't want nobody else sitting in my goddamn cubicle because my chair is set for my big tall ass and I don't need to be adjusting every fucking morning. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I go on?
Well, that's how you really feel, John.
Well, and a lot of this, of course, is going to depend on the industry, right? Like teaching, you can't be doing all that shit online.
So, Cream, so here's my question for you, Cream. I know, but you teach a very physical subject. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's really.
What kind of? Ooh. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We'll talk about that subject and later on in the program. But listen, but you teach a very, theater is a very, I need you to emote. I need you to be in front of me. I need you to do this. You know what I mean? How did you get through the pandemic professionally working? Like, I know you were online.
Horribly. We did it, but it wasn't the same kind of education. And the students, even the students who are taking math, who are taking biology, they, for the most part, do not want to be online when they take their classes because it's so.
That's understandable.
People don't want to do this. I don't know. So I don't think that necessarily works for education because we were some of the first people to be back face to face when we could be allowed to be face to face.
That was one thing Republicans were right about. Like, it is a nationwide setback for students. They basically lost a year. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Or two, because I have a friend of mine who teaches high school art. Imagine teaching art online because you have to. First of all, you have to send the kids the stuff. So their parents have to go to school and pick up the construction paper and the la. And then, how did you it was just a fucking mess. And then you had 9th graders coming into high school that were really 7th graders. And so you think about people that were seniors who last day were in school, they were freshmen.
And meanwhile, while we're dealing with that, with everybody being a few steps back, because of the pandemic, y'all want to ban books. Y'all want to change all this other shit. So they'd be further behind. Now, what sense does that make, you G-O fucking P? Oh, I'm sorry.
I guess it will make the test easier as there's fewer tests.
Right.
I mean, I guess there's that.
I
Your
started off.
education will be kind of bullshit, but hey.
Oh, speaking of that, and this is
I
how
was
I
about to
know.
say, go ahead.
I know. I'm sorry, Mr. Drayton.
No,
This is
go ahead.
how I. This is how I know Georgia is not going to do what some of these may not do what some of these other states are doing. The city of East Point is actually holding a drag show on the steps of City Hall tonight at 7:00, and all are welcome, every age. So we don't have them drag laws here yet, but
It's
I have
not
a
coming
feeling
because we have.
it's not going to come because our state is basically turning purple. So
Right.
I doubt
And
if
then-
these Republicans here try it. But
Right.
anyway, go ahead.
And then we have America's number one. Medea live down the street. How you gonna get rid of Medea?
Oh, you know what's so funny?
Yeah,
One of those
like-
drag bands was so inclusive that it meant any expressive outfit. So there was like some reading thing where the woman came dressed like Snow White to read Snow White and fairy tales, and she couldn't even do that because it was like a fantasy character. I was like, oh my god, y'all too much. This is a woman dressing like Snow White. She couldn't
I
do
know,
that.
right? That's terrible. So y'all, you all know. I started off the top of the show. You guys know I'm a political nerd, and I'm so sorry, but thank you, God, for allowing me to see 50 years, and all my political nerdness has come to fruition. Like anything I could think of. Since I was born during Watergate, but I was 1, 2, whatever, at the most. But the most incredible political things have happened geopolitically in my lifespan so far. So thank you, God, for that little morsel. So now, interestingly enough, well, first of all, I want to cover the Supreme Court upholding the voting. I hate celebrating people for doing what you're supposed to do. It's like, you know what I'm saying, Cream? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like
But it's
going
so
to McDonald's.
unexpected, though, right?
Well,
Like,
which is a shame. That's like going to McDonald's. Oh my God, all my food is in my bag.
hey, you're wrong about that, but you're right.
You know, it's like, motherfucker, didn't I pay for all of it? Why is
I
the
do
bar
that all
so
the time,
low?
though. I do that all the time. It's like they got it right. Oh my god.
I go to the same Wendy's because they always get my motherfucking order right. I won't win on the other side of town. I would want Wendy's so fucking bad, but I'm like, nah, I better go to some Wendy's I know because they'll never fuck my shit up. And I gotta wait. I can't go to Wendy's nowhere else, but they're gonna fuck my shit up. So I'm not gonna say kudos to the Supreme Court, but I think what it is I think people don't think so anymore, but public opinion weighs a lot. When people don't believe in what the fuck you say,
Right.
and you can be like, "Oh, the sky is blue." They're like, "Oh, no, it's not, motherfucker. Fuck you." I think that we inherently have a problem as a nation. But I started at the top of the show saying "Happy Indictment Saturday" for the second time. I'm so y'all know I ain't got nothing to do. So listen, I actually read the indictment. I went through it, and it's amazing. For like each charge, they have pictures and videos and text messages. I'm like, I don't know.
They have so many receipts.
Worm, yeah, I don't know how. I don't even know how this is not. Yeah, he gonna be on, and so. But the idea of it, and people was like, my sister was like, well, ain't nothing gonna happen. No, he's not going to jail. That's not the point. The point is not going to jail. The point is we're going to embarrass you. You know what I mean? We're going to embarrass you. And then the other thing is, I was telling Malcolm before and Swag before the show started, if he was indicted by himself, it'd be different. They gave a whole nother motherfucker the same indictments and or more, his valet. They together. They're gonna get a ring together. It's a shame. And this man then flipped on him. And everybody's sick of in the text message, everybody's sick of the fucking boxes. They're like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, you saw the picture of where all the boxes were? You saw
in the shower and shit.
Oh my God, that shit was so funny. It was I think they were clowning him by showing those photos. because it was like, first of all, it was showing how fucking like run down Mar-a-Lago looks, but then there's like boxes in all these rooms that are empty. Like, where the fuck are you? Oh god.
But do you know on Fox News when they showed that picture of the turned over boxes, one of the pundits said, "Yeah, but there's nothing there. There's magazines and newspapers," and the other chick said, "There's some other stuff around the back and it's mixed in." So they were literally focused in on the fact that there was magazines and newspapers, not what else is in there, just that. That's what's showing.
I'm trying to find anything.
Baby, can I tell you? Yesterday it was Christmas at MSNBC. Whoa! Pew, 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 pew.
What was Rachel saying? Because I do.
Wait a minute. Hold on. We're gonna start from the beginning. First of all, them hoes is on in the daytime. Nicole and Rachel came on at 3:00, and Rachel had on her good black jacket. Yeah,
give me that tag team.
My boo came on at 3:00, and I was stuck. She was so happy. She had on her her good Versace, like she was going to the club. This hoe is ready to report some news. You know what I mean? She ready. She had her hair a little Farrah Fawcett flip. She was ready. I was Cream. I was there. You know, it's real exciting. So all of them, Joey, all of them was on there. They were just throwing rocks at Trump.
Well, he in Columbus right now.
And headed to North Carolina sometime this
weekend. Oh boy! Come on. So I love it though. I want him to win it. I want him to win the primaries so bad. I might switch over.
I want to circle back to something you said earlier about embarrassing him. Do you honestly feel like Trump can be embarrassed? Because all he's gonna do is get on True Social and say, it's a witch hunt, it's a hoax, whatever. And you've got McCarthy, you've got Margarine, you've got all these idiots backing him up, saying like, "Oh, this is the greatest travesty." So can he really be embarrassed?
Poppy, take it from a fellow Gemini. Yes, that is a public persona. He is embarrassed. I'm telling you. You can just see how he responds in private. Let me tell you something. Publicly, I'm gonna be like, "Oh man, fuck you." But at home, when I get home, I'm gonna go home and cry, and I'm gonna think about how the fuck I'm gonna get you. And the next time,
how do you think you get so spiteful, right? Huh? You don't. Yeah, how do you think you get so spiteful unless you're angry underneath? It is what it is.
Yeah, that's what it all. And so I pay a lot of money for therapy to get rid of that part of me, not to be spiteful. But I used to be very vindictive. Like somebody did something to me, I would never let that shit go. Huh? What? But publicly, I'd be like, "Oh, I'm over it," And inside, I'm praying that they fall down the steps and break their neck. So I can do the Charlie Brown.
I want to see it. I want to see him crumble.
That's the thing he's not going to give you. That's true. Yeah. He's not going to give you that image. Welcome, Rick. Thank you so much. And Rick says to you, Cream, teach him daddy. I know it's that salt and pepper. It's it's giving a whole lot of seasoning at the end. He real zesty over there. He got, what I'm saying? It's like Tony Sacheries. He put that shit on everything. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to those who just joined us. Yeah, because but speaking of Cream, I caught a lot of guff from your whole lip comment the last time I was here at work. And so I didn't realize that people had sent me memes they have made of my lips. And I was like, oh God! I'm gonna wait till we get on air. I'm not gonna call him. Oh, is it okay if I congratulate you?
Yes, of course. Uh-huh.
Oh my God! So let me stop the press. A family member has did a thing, and the Cream, congratulations on your engagement. I try to be cold-hearted. I didn't want anybody to see me cry, so I turned around. I cried into my pillow. I was like, "Lord, my parents get married, Lord." All that black. Right, all that black daddy crying, trying to be. There was no
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
You ain't have nothing to say about my divorce?
Damn divorce.
Nope.
I didn't even know you were married. Back up. I didn't miss the whole other. Nigga get sick and nigga miss some shit. Let's talk about the marriage first. Who you married to, bro?
So you must have didn't watch the show when he announced his engagement and I announced my breakup.
No. I'm sorry.
It was sad. We were sad to hear that.
Can I get
I
a
was
quick-
sad to hear that.
Yeah.
Who you broke up with, brother? I'm sorry.
The person I was dating.
The flight attendant or the other person?
The pool
No.
table guy.
The pool table.
Oh,
guy.
okay.
Mhm.
Well, we want you to remain in good health anyway. So
It was to protect my peace, trust me.
yeah. And that's listen, ladies and gentlemen, in the sound of my voice, there's a very important segue. Like, if you feel like something is off, it generally is. You know what I'm saying? Like Cream, what? Like, so did you ask or did he ask?
I asked.
So,
Which I never thought I would do, honestly. I was like,
Never say never.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So you're on your way to work. You stop by the Piggly Wiggly.
Mm-hmm.
You pick up a sauce meat sandwich, and you say, I love him, and I can spend the rest of my life with him. What kind of facilitated that for you? Like, he is the right one. What facilitated this? He is my forever person.
That's a really good question. I think it's really more so a feeling. It's more so you're comparing the experience to your past experiences.
He got a cute smile.
Yeah, he does. He's
He's a cutie patootie. I told someone to put him to squeeze both their faces together.
Okay.
I think
I can't wait
ultimately
to squeeze them. Oh my god!
I think ultimately it's just who we are together and what he brings out in me and how I'm still able to be myself.
And I think the most important thing that you said is that you said you felt safe with him.
Yeah, yes. Feel very safe. There's no
See, I
question.
listen.
Yes, definitely.
So, John, exploring the other side of the coin, and
The dark
now
side.
I'm sad. No, I'm sad because I was going to talk about something else. Now I'm really happy for Cream, but I full disclosure, like I know some of your personal struggles, and so like I'm really, upset. Like I'm trying to process it, but if you want to talk about it or not, let me know.
Oh, I'm fine. I can talk about it. Shit. It is what it is. Hell.
At what point did we discover our peace was disturbed?
When I realized how much baggage they truly are carrying.
Oh my God, Amelia Earhart.
And I'm sorry, but my trunk can't hold no more than what I already got.
No.
Yes.
You gonna quit it, okay? Listen, were they aware? Now, Malcolm,
Yes, they're aware they got baggage. I just refuse to take on anybody else's stuff. I got my own shit to deal with. And if you're not gonna let some of that shit go, like I let some shit go, then I'm gonna have to leave you at the station, and this train is pulling out. So I pulled out. No pun intended.
That's the one time you pulled out. I get that.
You know what?
Well, you wearing
You know what?
You said, "Ball." Y'all shouldn't want me to come back to work so soon.
No, but the thing is that they have some traumas that they have to deal with. I mean, I have traumas too. I've been transparent on here about my traumas, but I'm not gonna let my past fuck up my future. So
Can I ask you another question? Can I ask you another question real quick? So how are you coming along with your I know you weren't a few weeks ago you weren't feeling like super fantastic. How are you feeling now? Personally, I know you were having some struggles. What's happening?
I'm not 100%, but I'm better than where I was. I mean, hell, I was able to recognize that I didn't need to be in this toxic ass shit. I'm sitting here sucking on a lollipop in front of your house, so I'm good.
How did you break it off? What was that conversation like?
Basically, I was like, look, I can't. You have some stuff you got to deal with, and I've given you every reason not to trust me and not to. And I've shown you everything that I'm not out to get you. I'm not out to hurt you. But all that other stuff that you got, that you thrusting it on me and probably thrusting on anybody that ever comes into your life, you got to deal with that. And I can't really help you with it.
How did it feel about therapy?
God damn it, if you interrupt me one more goddamn time.
I can do that, you know.
I was in the middle of a thought. So I told, because Cream asked me a question. So I told him, you know, that's stuff you have to deal with. And it doesn't seem like you're willing to do it. So I can't help you with it. That's something you're going to have to figure out on your own. Now, you take the time, do all that you need to do to fix you, and you can come on back home. But if ain't nobody answering the door, then you know that there's nothing there.
So you left the door open for possibility.
The door is unlocked, but it's not going to be wide open. No, I'm not. Basically,
go ahead.
What I'm saying is that once you get your shit together, if I'm available, I may entertain you, or we may be able to talk. But if you come back and I'm locked up, then that's a wrap. I'm not sitting around waiting, is what I said.
Right.
Well, I wonder, like, and I wonder this for myself. Do people know that they're carrying? It's like Erykah Badu, "Bag Lady," which is a very poignant song. If this bitch ain't never write one song in her life, she wrote this shit, and it's very simplistic. Bag lady, you gonna miss your bus. You can't hurry up.
For me, it with that one, it was like the littlest shit would trigger it for him. And I was recognizing that. I was like, wait a fucking minute, you getting all bent out of shape because my blinds are half open? Somebody might be able to see us. I'm like, well, just to give you some context of why because apparently when he was dating somebody, they were recording without his knowledge, and then it appeared on Twitter. So he's got that trauma, and my blinds were barely open, and I was wondering why he kept looking at my window. And then when we kind of was, I guess you could say, getting a little intimate, your blind's still open. Somebody might be standing up. I'm like, what the fuck? Who gives a shit anyway if my blind's open? It's my goddamn house. I pay rent here. And if you see something going on, then goddamn it, eat you some popcorn. It's going to get better. Anyway, so those little things kind of, I was like, I can't deal with this.
I'm going to have to push back on that example.
Why?
I'm going to push back on that example.
Go ahead, Kareem.
Because if your guy's telling you this makes me uncomfortable, just having the blind open makes him uncomfortable. What the fuck? Close the fucking blind and go have a good time. Why is that a big deal?
Kareem, what he's saying though, it's a collective of all the stuff.
Yes.
Well, give me another example, because that example turned me out.
Kareem needs more. He needs more than that.
Okay, well, I'll give you more. I did close the blind.
Okay.
But now it's in his head that maybe I have somebody out there recording.
Oh, okay. All right. Now
because he had that trauma of being recorded by somebody hiding in the closet.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. All right.
See if y'all I'll tell y'all the truth. I don't have no problem with it. That's why it doesn't really. I'm fine. I'm not, because I made the decision to break it off.
Right.
Versus being disappointed, betrayed, all of that other stuff. I'm just saying, I recognized it early and pulled myself up out.
Yeah. I mean, the question I would have had, and I don't know if it makes any sense to ask him that, which is like, what, you're trying to help make him more comfortable. Like, was there anything that could have made him comfortable? And that's that would be the breaking point,
Yeah,
right?
I think
There's no way to do that. Because I agree with Cream in the sense that you try to accommodate someone when it's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you realize, okay, I can do this, I can do that. But then when you realize like there is no amount of soothing,
there's no accommodations for this,
right? And then you're like, yeah, I can't. I'm not Superman either. So
No, there was.
Yeah.
I trust me, guys. I did everything possible to
Right.
make this person feel as comfortable as fuck.
Right. Yeah.
But you know
But
what?
when all of
I
that,
think it's
when all of that was deflected like Wonder Woman. Pew, pew. So
But this is the thing. I think you've done something really mature though. First of all, you open yourself up to this person in the first place, and you learned where your boundaries were, and let them go quickly. I think that's healthy in both directions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Because you said that you've had some issues. It's similar to his about going over to other people's houses. I'm sure you're aware of that. So I think you would have shown some empathy for him in that regard, and the fact that you attempted to make it right. I mean, I think those are all positives. I mean, and I think, yeah, no,
because we kind of had that conversation of past traumas. Because
Yeah.
I mean, you're supposed to be transparent and have, especially when you see there's a potential here. So let me tell you everything that's kind of happened to me, and they did the same. It's just that of course, when you've had trauma, it never goes away, so to speak. But you know how to manage it. You know how to not let it take over your life. On the other side, they haven't gotten to that point yet. So I know it took me a while to get to there. So what I saw was, oh, bro, you got a long way to go.
Yeah.
So
But then,
I was like,
y'all, I just want to say, full disclosure, John, like, I know people, they always see you as like a curmudgeon, but you are that kind of friend. You are patient and understanding. And I mean, I'm saying your public persona is way different. I don't mean to be giving away your tea, my bad.
I
But
don't give a shit.
it's just,
Ain't nobody paying my bills.
I'm just saying, like, you are a warm, wonderful person. And from the moment that we met, we were friends immediately. You know what I mean? Like, close immediately. And like you're, and so I know you gave it, your best. And so I guess to back to what Cream was saying. So Cream, I know just knowing John that he gave 110. Because even if he gonna say to himself, I'm gonna do this for a minute, he gonna slot 10 minutes, and you know what I'm saying, and give it. I know there had to be a point that he had to say, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I know John is a lovely man. I just had to ask the question in case there are other people out there who had the same thought that I was having. You know what
I just like really when he get. I'm gonna tell you, it's like 5 people in my life. If they give an opinion, I don't ask for another opinion. There are like 5 people in my life that give opinions, and normally, you kind of get a consensus of all your friends. But if I go to him the first time and he's just like, you should do this, you should do that, I tend to just grow with it. And it's never let me down.
But can we get back to the memes of your lips that you did not share with us? Because you did mention that there were memes.
I did.
So where are they? Let us see. The people want to see the memes.
It was
all that work in.
I was like, Cream, you have started something. And so I was just like, so, those things on Facebook, your best body part is. And so I was just like, I'm going to fuck Cream up. And then I saw you got engaged. I was like, oh, I got to fuck him up next month. I have to let him live. So, with social media and all this other stuff, something was brought to my attention in my inbox. Not by the same person, but we kind of know the same people. Because I think all of us have. But I got a question, like a sex worker. Could we date someone that's a sex worker? Now, and so I have an aide come in because I'm not feeling well. So my aide always makes jokes like, oh, you better put them feet on OnlyFans. You better put them elbows on OnlyFans. You know what I mean? You better put them eyebrows on OnlyFans. It was just something crazy to make me laugh, right? And so I asked him, he's been married, he's been married to a lovely man for about 19 years, and I was like, what did you do when you come home one day and your husband says, I'm doing toe of OnlyFans, or you meet somebody you really digging them, and they're like, yeah, I I do weird stuff with plastic bags in my balls. I mean, just like I have heard it all. You know what I mean? Like there are some people that are into disabled porn. I didn't know it was a thing. Like I'm like, wow. And so what as a panel, what will we do as a whole to say could we deal with that? Is that it's a part of what they do? John?
If your OnlyFans is just you pleasuring yourself, I say God bless. Let's get the money, bro. Let's get the money. Now, if you having multiple partners, I may not be able to hang with you too much. Even
Now
though
you
you
don't think
telling
it's
me,
a gateway drug? You don't think it's a gateway? You don't think it started off as masturbation, but then it goes on to
well, before I was rudely interrupted, as I stated,
okay.
if it's just you jacking off, we good. Now, if you go into the multiple partners and stuff, we have a problem. Capiche?
But
Well,
wait a minute. So you said, hold on, Malcolm, 1 second. So you said multiple partners. So
Yes.
so the random other partner on a Thursday, 1, 2 people, that's cool.
If all you doing is jacking off on your OnlyFans, we good. But if you're starting to have other people, multiple partners, this I don't give a shit who it is. If it's solo, I'm good. If you're starting to have sex with people, we have a problem.
Okay.
I'm just that's what I'm saying. If it's just solo shit, hell, I may start my own and we combine our money. But if it's just you, and if you going into the, oh, I'm finna collab, but no, you ain't collabing with shit but your hand and some grease. That's the only collab I need to hear coming out of you.
So
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I had a couple of comments to this. So, one, I kind of agree with Greg on this a little bit about the gateway to other things. And I don't think it's a gateway to multiple partners, but I actually have a friend who I met through his adult pages, right? I didn't actually subscribe, but I got to know him because I liked some of his stuff on Twitter. And what happened with him and his relationship was the fact that his husband ultimately got jealous of the conversations he was having on his OnlyFans, like he was getting worshipped and admired by these people. And it gave him such a sense of validation, in ways that made his husband feel guilty, even though, I would say not guilty, but
jealous.
Jealous. Yes, that's the word I'm reaching for. Yeah. And I think it was legit, and he pulled back and he stopped doing it. But they were in conversation with each other, and what could have been a problem turned out, is not one. So I'm just saying that's a possibility. Now, for myself, I would say dated. I was in, a no strings attached type situation with someone who had an OnlyFans, and I didn't really think much of it until I started watching the videos, and there were other people in it, and I was just like, I know that I'm not one of these people, but just seeing them made me feel kind of weird. And I'm not even like, I mean, I guess it's jealousy, but it was also just like a little bit of revulsion. Like, this is a little icky now, even though he is hot and the videos are hot, because I know him and have relations with him. It's just like, it's immediate ick for me. So,
Swag, where are you on this?
The reason I'm laughing is because there was an actual SNL skit, and it was Leslie Jones and oh gosh, what's his name? Kenan Thompson, and they were having dinner with their kids, and somebody recognized Kenan and said, "Oh, you're the guy with that OnlyFans page," and he's like, "Yep, I sure am." And his wife was like, "Well, what are you doing?" He's like, "Don't worry about it. Look how much money I'm making." She started like advertising, saying, "Yeah, check us out. We'll be there every night on 10 o'clock." So,
right.
For me, sex work is work. It's legitimate work. You know, we will have to have like a real open discussion about it, and you know, there might be some limitations on what I'm comfortable with and what I'm not comfortable with, but you know, I would be okay with it.
Okay.
I
Let
would
me
be
just
Even
say,
if they with somebody, even if you said there would be discussion. I was about to say, even if they
I
with
mean,
somebody
we would
else.
have to have discussions about that kind of stuff. But you know, if they're doing stuff that I'm okay with and I'm cool with, and the money is good, I mean,
Yeah, I think that's
who
the
am I to
main
say
thing.
no?
You know, if at any point you do feel like it's something wrong, if you're in open discussion with them, then you can just say no. I think that was the thing that I said with my friend. You know, it started off being cool, and when it became uncool, it stopped.
So what's the limit? Kissing, fucking,
I don't think-
jacking. What's the limit?
Jacking.
In the other, I mean, I'm talking about the
Wait.
swag because he said I would be okay with it too.
wait a minute. Cream just came like, wait, hold it. What's the motherfucking limit?
That's what I want.
Cream has become the Rona Barrett of male media
Tell me,
mind. He
what-
is like asking all these pertinent questions.
I mean,
He
I
trying
was
to get to
thinking
the
like
T.
I was
You was
thinking like
general as
Cream.
fuck.
I'm right there with you, Cream. I'm like, what's the limit? I mean,
limit?
is it fucking? Is it
I can't
threesome,
say-
group, scat?
can't
What is it? Come on.
Damn.
If I can speak without being interrupted, John.
Good comeback. I feel seen. Come back, Cream. Come back. I feel seen.
Honestly, for me, it's really going to be dependent upon like what it is they want to do, and you know, I can't say like straight across the board like this is just off the table no matter who I'm dating. It's going to depend on who it is and like what it is they're doing and you know how they're presenting themselves. I can't really say like there's just a blanket like you can't do this and I don't care who it is. Like I you know.
Okay, so we're in a relationship. Okay, babe, I'm doing.
I can't be in a relationship with you. You engaged.
This is hypothetical. My name is Carlos, and we're in a relationship. Okay.
Well, nice to meet you, Carlos. I'm Swag.
Okay. And so, all right, babe. So I'm thinking about I'm doing OnlyFans. Are you okay with me fucking with a condom?
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Are you okay
Well,
with me?
again, I you say that, but then it just depends. I can't,
good. Let me know.
I don't know.
Well,
It's really hard to explain. I just can't say like no matter who it is, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Okay,
Like,
all right.
Okay, well, let me throw this one at you. Since I'm single, so you can get that visual out your head because I know that's why you didn't answer Cream's question. So I'm
you just
single.
broke up with somebody. I can't date you either.
But hey,
You're a
babe,
rebound.
Oh, even more perfect. Hey, babe, I think I want to start doing OnlyFans, and well, for my first job, I've been invited to be involved in this group setting in a log cabin with 12 other content creators. How do you feel about that? They're gonna pay us well.
Wait a minute.
Allegedly.
Again, it would just kind of depend on
Come
the
on, babe.
circumstances.
But I think Swag. I think people want to get to like what, just in general, give us a parameter. Like what?
I mean,
like,
okay. I will put it like
Because you're
this.
wide open right now. Oh, no pun intended. I'm sorry.
What I will say, okay, let me maybe if I explain it this way, it might make more sense.
Right.
If I'm in a relationship with you and I have feelings for you, if I feel like there's something that will take away those feelings for me, then that would be like, okay, no, you can't do that.
But it's work, babe.
And I said that. I said
You did say
sex work is work.
Is work, so it's work, babe. Just think of it as work.
But you know what? If I'm
What?
involved with somebody and they were, let's say they were a diplomat and they were traveling the world and I barely saw them, it would kind of be the same thing. It's like if I am not being able to be romantic with you and be affectionate with you and feel like you are connected with me, then that's a problem. And it doesn't matter whether it's sex work, it doesn't matter if it's, you know, them being the CEO of, you know, Bank of America, or whether they are, you know, on the side of the street, you know, getting handouts. It's like, it don't really matter the job. It's just, if I'm in a relationship with you and I feel like the feelings aren't there, that you're not connecting with me on a spiritual level.
Listen, you get the Ike Turner, you the kindest motherfucker I know award for today. That's what's my name.
Why gotta be Ike Turner?
The Ike Turner, you the kindest motherfucker award goes to.
Okay, I want to hear Cream now.
Like Malcolm was trying to interject something for a minute.
Oh, okay.
You're muted, Malcolm.
You're on mute.
And yes, you've been on mute for a while.
Oh, okay, never mind. That makes a lot of sense. So, what I was going to say is, you know, with the situation that I found myself in, I didn't know that's how I was going to feel until it happened. Right. In fact, I think I was super open-minded about it until I saw it. And I think that's just true of a lot of things. We base our future impressions on our past. And I think sometimes we're not the same person we were before. For me, I think in the past, I was like, you know, yeah, go ahead and do it. Until I actually felt that kind of way about it. So I don't know. I think a lot of times our feelings on something is unique to that person in that situation, and not just to that person, but who you are right now. Like, there may be things that you objected to in the past that you would be okay with in the future, just simply because this is you feel less insecure about it when you see it. Or I don't know, this person might have a deeper connection with you that you trust them. Like, you allow them to do more because you never trusted someone like that before.
And so, I guess also maybe your emotional connection was a little stronger than you thought. Could it be
possible.
That?
Yeah.
For me, I don't think I'm evolved enough to be able to put sex work from someone who I'm with into a separate category from the sex that we're going to engage in as a couple. I'm just not evolved. I'm not evolved enough in my development. I think if I say, "Oh, that's cool," it's probably indicative that I don't care as much about that person. Probably, like, I don't value that part of our relationship as much. For me, I would say that's probably what it would be. If I was like, "Oh yeah, sure, go do that, make us that money."
But this is what I would say about this is that is the current version of yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I would say that there are things, even maybe things traumatic that might happen to you in the future, which we wouldn't wish on you, but I'm just saying things happen in your life that change who you are. And so I just think, like, we shouldn't be so anchored to the way we feel now about things. That's all I was getting at. When you pose these hypotheticals, you're basing it on who you are now, or even who you were in the past.
Exactly.
You know, because my 30-year-old self wouldn't have given a shit. You know.
Well, my 30-year-old self would have, because I remember one time this dude sent me we were talking and we was, you know, talking about getting together, and he sent me a video of him sucking some other dude's dick, and I was like, "Bitch, wait a minute, gross."
What? That's the other thing. When people send you videos of them doing something to some, I don't want to see that.
Gross, bitch.
They letting you know what you in for.
I just asked this question the other day. You know what a motherfucker told me? You watch commercials, don't you? I was like, I do not.
You sure don't. You absolutely don't.
Right, fast forward.
Yeah.
So Mr. Drayton, you have to answer the question. What about you?
Yeah, let's hit Mr. Drayton.
So I have dated. See, with my ex, it was a progression. We started off as a personal trainer. Then with, or dance a personal trainer, and then it went from,
gateway.
Then, it was a gateway drug. It was a gateway drug, and then, I don't. I don't really. And Lord, my people in the stripper community, please do not come after me. I don't care for like male strippers. I think female strippers are very erotic, but I don't like men. And so I went to see them perform one night, and I don't know if it was the alcohol or my Catholic sense of sensibility. So I was just like, no. So, but they were really like a Clark Kent kind of character. It was just like, at the crib they were very different, and this was probably truly a job for them. They were trying to go to school and stuff like that. I was like, Lord have mercy, I have reached the age where I think I'm a sugar daddy. God damn it. But this was at the beginning of OnlyFans and things of that nature,
Right.
like early in the decade. And they were like, hey, a client. It always starts off like a after school special. Hey, Tom is smoking marijuana. He says it's not going to do anything to me. It's just a little buzz, just kind of buzz.
I kind of seen some of those memes on TikTok where the personal trainer is trying to, get more out of the workout, and when they're doing a spot, the dick is all in your face. They're rubbing your booty while you squat. Like,
to be honest with you, I think every personal trainer on TikTok has an OnlyFans because the positions they be doing, the clothes they be wearing, it's like,
oh, I got some. I have,
and they don't own a pair of underwear, so
they really don't.
You can't find one pair of underwear between 10 motherfuckers. Not at all.
I know, it's so funny.
The thing about him was, downstairs he was blessed. He was a little fat fatty, and he had a baby on. You know what I mean? So you run around with no drawers on, with a baby in your pants. You know what I mean? You're gonna get attention.
Basically, yeah.
Well, like Wendy Williams said, everybody can't be an engineer. So I don't mind the girls leaning into their skills. Like I would not mind being with somebody who was a stripper. Honestly, I would, because to me, it's like you're a dancer, you're a performer. Like I would.
It's a gateway drug, though.
I was just getting ready to say that.
I see.
Because what about those private?
That's where I kind of draw the line. Yeah. Stripper. And if you're a stripper, then no, we ain't gonna do it. Well, and only because you have too much personal contact with people being a stripper. They're right in your face. They can write phone numbers on dollar bills and giving you propositions and stuff like that.
Let me tell you how
they ask you to come back to the champagne room, and
let me tell you how this came to a head where it kind of intersected. It wasn't, so okay, I'm gonna go ahead and name places. So I was at a party. We were at the 4040 room in Manhattan, so you can only imagine. And so somebody at the party was like, hey man, he came over to the table. He's like, I don't mean to interrupt, but he's like, I want to thank you for the other day. And I literally just sat there, and so he was like, oh, welcome, man, it's a job or whatever. He's like, nah, that was real personal, man. Here's my card. And so right then and there, before I let my let my Cuban man step in, I was like, nope, this is over, because I will not allow I'm gonna let this man fly and do what he got to do just without me, because now I'm embarrassed because I'm in a certain circle, and that you starting to, people like, oh, Greg dude is a hoe, is a stripper. That's what you gonna look like, I'm gonna look like goddamn Steve Harvey with Marjorie. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
I think it's a different stripping to sex work. I don't think that's necessarily that has to go. I don't think that's what goes together. Like,
it doesn't have to, but it is a game.
It does.
Like just because if you're getting paid well to strip at Chippendales or something, don't mean you know.
This ain't stripping. This ain't Chippendales.
Well, yeah. I guess that's also the other thing. It depends on what kind of stripping are you doing,
and what about the side jobs?
Think Brooklyn.
We all saw Players Club, so what about the side jobs?
What is
I
the
just
club?
came here to dance, and that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of.
Swarm.
No, I think actually John is right about this.
Who
The reality is, if you want to make actual money, either at the strip club or OnlyFans, it doesn't mean that it immediately goes to sex, but there is a point at which you have to escalate your contact with them and do a private dance, which doesn't have to include sex, but that means if you were, you'd have to be aware of that and trust them enough to not cross the line. There's going to be at least the innuendo that client could have them. That's part of the experience of having a private dance or a private session on OnlyFans, is that you give them the illusion of a boyfriend or intimacy. How comfortable are you with that? And I said with my friend who did that, their husband was very uncomfortable with that, even though he never crossed the line, even though it was just talk. It was uncomfortable. And
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Now,
Rick,
that's a gateway too, what you said.
Yeah.
Rick said, all I'm doing is hosting a sipper's paint. That's a gateway too, Rick.
What you painting with? What brush are you painting with, Rick? Third leg? Is that what you're doing? A lot of penis painting.
Who dipping their paintbrush in your bowl?
We have seen them videos of them sipping paints. Yeah. That's a gateway too.
And then the other thing for me is that, but on the flip side, I dated someone who could not handle, my social media. My inbox was a bridge too far for them. They was just like, you got to be doing something. You got to be saying something to them. You ain't nobody just gonna send you no picture, no tank, John. Ain't nobody gonna send you no picture. We just sitting up here at dinner, and you all of a sudden. I was like, well, here, look, read the thread. And they just could not believe. I was like, twice a week, I come into people's living rooms or laptops or phones through several different mediums. And then we have been doing this for several years. People think they know us. People, we talk, we have sexual banter. All the time we talk about John's rigidness, and we all discuss our sexual past and some of our proclivities, and that people think they know us, cream. You know what I mean? They you know what I'm saying? Look, Rick over there calling you cat daddy. I'm getting lip reads and somebody. Oh, so programming note before I forget. Malcolm, I have a present for you, my friend.
Okay.
I almost forgot, and I was going to bring this up at the top of the hour, and I did not. Let me go. Carlos DeLon will be on next week with me. I got him, Malcolm.
Oh, nice.
The guy from Instagram.
Yes.
The skin bad dude. Yeah. Yeah. So wear some rubber pant drawers or something. I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna get a raise! I'm gonna get a raise! Super nice."
Yeah, that's awesome.
He has a huge TikTok following, and he makes very interesting.
He does. I love his content. It is great.
Isn't it interesting that I just pulled my alias as Carlos out of the air, and then Carlos is again?
And that's what triggered me in the beginning to remember. But
wow, that's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
Then I forgot because I'm old. So
you are 50.
I am 50.
But no, I love Carlos's content. He is neurodivergent, if I'm not mistaken. I actually don't know what his mental health issues are, but he talks a lot about psychology, and he does these like beautiful kind of just audio video journals. He'd be just like walking down the street. Yeah, it's really good. It's a good show.
I don't know why Malcolm J asked the man to be on the show. Now I just simply it's sometimes it's difficult. Bro, you gotta keep well, my thing is I have to like at least 10 of your posts to invite you on. If I like 10 of your posts within 30 days, I feel like you have something more to say than you just woke up.
I think I've been following him since probably like 2000.
Because anybody can watch. anybody can watch reruns of Ayanna Van Sant and come up with something. Which
Yeah, that's true. I see a lot of that actually. A lot of parroting. Yeah, that's a good point.
Look, beloved, I don't even want to talk about my scared relationship with her. I feel like we must be careful as when you're not degreed in a certain area. You have to be very careful, not to speak professionally, but from your own personal experience. You know what I mean? We dole out advice all the time, but we let people know we are doling out advice from our particular points of view. You know, and you know, John 48 and I'm 58. You know, so we have a different. You know, we have a take on life. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Swag's take on life is different than anybody else's. So we have to kind of go with that. But I caution, please, like, note who you are following and who you are taking advice from. Check their credentials. You know what I mean? Because I've noticed that all advice isn't good advice, which is so
to a certain degree, I think is one thing that I'm started getting from like TikTok and just the algorithm of viewing multiple, people. Like, I don't follow any one person. You know what I mean? Probably at any given time, maybe 50 to 100 people, pass through my feed every week, and it takes a while to sift through all of them. And I think the point I'm getting at is that the best stuff does sort of rise, I guess, in my mind. Best for me. I shouldn't say best for everyone, but what works best for me eventually appears to just because I'm attracted to it that way. And I still even question that, though, because I remember, like, when we were talking about spirituality and religion and stuff, that anytime a person starts talking about God or prayer, I'm almost immediately turned off because of just my issues with Christianity. But then what I found is, like, if I wait a moment, a beat, sometimes what they're saying resonates with me anyway, but I still don't like it. I don't know. I don't like it that much. I mean, I don't usually use it, but I'll say, okay, well, this is something I might be interested in once I overcome some of my hesitation towards Christian theology. But I still try to recognize my own biases, I guess is what I'm saying. So I think that's one of those with some of those coaches or whatever. It's just that they sometimes just feed into your biases, and you don't question. You're not looking at it critically, because you like it.
I have, because I knew we were about to start wrapping up and going to Patreon, so I don't give my street people access to Patreon, so I end my streams kind of early. But I have a question, because after the show, because they want the links and stuff like that. But how do we feel about men describing their booties as pussies?
We have discussed this, and I said it was something I resisted. It's something I resisted at first.
Okay.
And I don't naturally like it, but I accept it. I mean, I accepted it eventually. So I think it's weird, but let's be real. I think it's kind of weird.
You call it a pussy, I'm stopping mid-stroke.
Oh, that's
harsh.
Yeah, so you probably should tell them not to call it.
Don't.
If I wanted pussy, I would go to a woman.
Oh, yeah,
right. I'm gonna read.
Sorry. I mean, I don't think lesbians going around talking about suck my dick. So I mean,
yes, they do.
They do actually.
Oh, they do.
They actually do.
I remember seeing this.
They actually do.
I actually saw this stud fuck a dude on Twitter. It was kind of hot. She had a stroke. I mean, she was fucking the shit out of him. I was like, wow.
I think I know who you're talking about.
I was like,
You're so nasty.
I mean,
He's
I
in
literally
DC.
clenched
I
my
think I know
cheeks a
who
little
you're
bit.
talking
I just
about.
said, "Oh my god, she's fucking the shit out of him."
Mhm. I think I know who you're talking about. He's in DC.
Oh my god.
Did you just say you had to clench your damn cheeks?
I had to clench my cheeks because I felt
I'm gonna
it.
take this phone and I'm gonna Uber to your house with salt. I can barely walk, but I'm gonna Uber to your house with salt.
I was like, a woman can fuck like that. Like, holy shit! Oh my
I
God.
mentioned I said it earlier as a word, but I still cannot, for the life of me, understand how people can get turned on by scat.
Right.
I literally I don't understand it. I mean, rubbing it all on you, eating it. I just
You're not supposed to. Yeah.
I can smell it through the screen. Oh no, I just can't.
Not through the screen.
Well, here's the funny thing about what they call paraphilias in general, like, you know, divergent sexual attractions, is the point. The disgust is the point. So it's actually documented for a lot of people that could be a trauma response to something, right? Like, if and this is not to say that everyone who has those desires have some trauma in their background, but it is a anecdotal, you know, theory
But
that
why?
certain people. Why is because we can live through things. It's a trauma response is something that helps you survive, right?
Oh,
So, like, let's say you were a child who lived in filth.
oh.
Yeah, you'd have to develop a sort of relationship to it that's different than you are. If you wanted to get through it.
I get it. It's just when I see it, all I could think about is hepatitis.
Because that's what keeps you alive. Shit is dangerous. It has stuff in it that will kill you. So it's a natural response to be disgusted by.
John is feeling icky right now.
Right, and he's enjoying it, bro. That's what's so funny. It's like the person is like, "Ooh, this lemon is sour. Let me taste it." Like, yes, it's gross.
So what about? Isn't that the same gateway as man smells?
I don't know about that. No.
No, I don't think so.
Boy, you're mighty quiet over there, Cream.
I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm thinking about a lot of.
Because there's a difference between a man smell and just fecal matter smell.
Yeah.
Like there's a complete difference there.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Now you can go overboard with the man smells because, like,
I mean, you could say the same thing about a pleasant smell. Like if someone, I don't know, got turned on by roses because they associate the smell of roses with something. You can associate anything with something positive.
Yeah, like the guys who usually are into like must and that kind of stuff are like, don't come in here smelling like cologne and you know and like deodorants and shit like that. I'm like, oh, this is clearly not a group I belong in.
I guess there's nothing wrong with a little natural stuff, but if you ripe, I get it, you know. But I don't know.
But again, there's limits. There's like a fine line between that.
There's a fine line.
Don't know how to do that, and it's like once you cross. But again, you know, everything is subjective. You know, some people, you know, I myself, I don't get into that. I like pleasant smells, but you know, I'm not going to judge anybody if that's what they do. I'm kind of like Cream. Is like, okay, well, I'm at the wrong party, so
I'm going to
have a good time. I am seeing myself out, but you know, y'all enjoy yourself.
This is what I get at is when someone else has a paraphilia, whatever it may be, is out of the ordinary, to somehow think yourself as morally superior to them just because you have a more heterogeneous way of approaching sex. I'm like, okay, I mean, that actually sounds like something that turns me off. You know, someone who,
you know, it's funny. I kind of feel that way about people who are just like I'm mask for mask. If you're feminine, I
love masculine men, but a mask guy
get
asks
like
mask
really
guys
upset about that thing. And my response to that is always, you are feminine to somebody else. As masculine as you may think that you are, like, let's be clear, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. You sucking dick, and so somebody's gonna be like, well, "That's a feminine trait."
That's a good
I
point.
heard that.
If you're lucky, some gays don't.
Cream old dick sucking, John old dick sucking ass homosexual.
I'll suck it today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Now, the question about the boot, about calling the booty pussy thing, I was wondering, is that more about how you call it pussy? Like, in terms of like, are you like, oh my pussy? Like that's the turn off.
Fuck that pussy. Fuck it.
Right, it's supposed to be, yeah. Fuck what Malcolm just did. Yeah, fuck that pussy, nigga.
Fuck that pussy,
Yeah,
nigga.
get that pussy. Like, that's kind of.
That's a good point, though. I think there's something.
For me, it's a no. Yeah, I'm sorry.
I want
It's a
both
no.
of those clips. Malcolm, go in.
Oh God, I do not need that to be my text tone.
Exactly. I want both of those clips. I want Cream Baby. I think so. Let me go. Let me read y'all the messages that has created this. This is from today's street team. Hey, sexy. Listening to you talk about politics with your deep voice is such a turn on. I want to give you some pussy.
That went left real fast.
Right. It just went. Message number 2. You are so hot. Thank you for you guys out there. Would you consider wearing your drawers for a few days for me and then sending them to me? I will gladly pay you for said underwear.
Now, I would totally get into some shit like that. Who wants to buy my dirty drawers? Let me know. And
What's the price?
Can I send them your way?
I was still in my way, man. I'm sure I can convince my man that that's okay.
Is it okay to put $1 on my drawers?
See, Cream, that's a slippery slope now. First it'll be underwear, next thing you know.
I don't think so. I
need a video of you in it, so I know that you really had them on.
You want some dirty
now
socks?
I need you to do FaceTime with me so I can see like you head down the slope, brother.
See, and I buy Under Armour, so I need about $60 a draw so I can replace my drawers.
So they're about 100.
Oh, you ain't getting no good draws now. You getting the granny panties and ones got. You ain't getting my good draws, motherfucker. No,
not the granny panties.
All right, you gotta buy. That's right. You gotta buy some Fruit of the Loom specifically.
Yeah, you get tight and white.
Yeah,
okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay,
you getting tight
that's
and white.
funny.
You're not getting you ain't getting you ain't getting the Fenty, and you ain't getting. Those are good draws.
Now there are some that will say like, "Hey, here is my Amazon wish list. If you want me to do that, you just need to buy them and have them sent to me, and I will wear them for however long you want me to wear them." And
that's good too. Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, please. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm so sorry. The last
comment
I read, they are online. And they said, I would gladly give you $200 a pair.
That's interesting. Okay.
How much for the entire set?
Okay.
But I'm trying to get us all paid today.
Ooh, yeah.
That'll make you pay.
like Funko Pops, bitch. So collect all 5, bitch.
$200.
My brother told me that we a goddamn set. Let's go.
This is the funny thing is that we're all whores. It's just a matter of price.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's just underwear.
If we doing this, I'm sitting in some right now. You're gonna have them after the show.
You're better than them whores. It's just that your price is higher.
No, I never said I was better than anybody. But all I know is those. Listen. All I know is I got about 9 months for those virtual realities to come out.
I need the Vision Pros, bro.
I gotta get to work, Malcolm. I gotta get to work. I gotta get out of this bed and get to work.
And Beyonce tickets. You gotta get Beyonce tickets. And
Speaking of that, that's funny you said that, Malcolm. I was blessed with one for my birthday. And I would like to thank, I'd like to thank everybody who wished me a happy birthday. I didn't have time to, but I got some lovely, 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 lovely birthday gifts. Like lovely, and I got visits, and I mean, because it's been really tough. Like I think, I don't know. I haven't mentioned how tough my recovery's been. She taking a minute, and when you fall at 50, it's not, and so I'm kind of stuck upstairs in my house because I don't trust myself to go downstairs, and I probably could go downstairs. I'm just not feeling it right now. But so thank you guys so much for making the 50th. I have since postponed my 50th birthday. I'm going to celebrate at some point later this year when I am feeling better.
That's good.
I'm going to go ahead and get into the best thing that happened to me this week because it is incredible. The best thing that happened to me this week is I got an adjustable bed frame. Now, because one of my injuries is
legs up.
Right. One of my injuries, the last injury that I'm nursing is a growing pool. I've had maybe 7 or 8 injuries from the one fall. But as anybody knows, it's the one that takes the longest to heal. So I'm unable to position myself in bed. But I have really gotten some sleep because I'm able to raise the head of the bed up and sleep on the side that way. So, I'm able to get 5 or 6 hours of sleep a night versus 0. So and it's aiding in the. I don't know about the position per se, but it's helping. It's helping a lot. That is the best thing.
That's really good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because I have not I hadn't slept. So what was it? At one point, it was like 10 days. Maybe I was up with like maybe 10 days or more. It was, and the doctor was like, "We're gonna come in and do sleep if you don't. Yeah, I'm gonna come to your house with a big ass syringe and just." You got to go to bed. He was like, I know it may hurt, but you got to go to bed. He's like, this is not sustainable. So yeah, I just want to take some. Now, so we are almost at that time. So since I already started, John, I'll be back to you, Malcolm. John, best or worst thing that happened to you this week?
Really nothing good or bad. It's been kind of melancholy.
Melancholy? Mm-hmm. My God. No, it's been
like I said, it's nothing exciting, nothing bad. It's just been, just even kilter.
Even Steven, we love you.
Yeah.
If anybody is in the Atlanta area, please know that traffic is going to be severely off the hook this weekend because your president is in Columbus, and traffic that's already bad is going to be made worse. Malcolm, what
president?
What brought you joy or pain this week? Talk to me.
Well, both. I got from my walking routine. I thought about this the other day, and we were talking that I'm starting to read this book called Write for Your Life, and it's talking about journaling or whatever. It occurred to me that my walks can kind of be a spiritual practice, because when I get to like mile 3, I'm like praying at every step that I don't fall and pass out. And somehow I make it home every time. And there's something about that, like making it home even when I didn't think I would be able to keep going. And knowing, I guess, that I can do it is everything in life is almost that, one step in front of the other.
That is so amazing that you said that, because that's where I am in my recovery. Like, I'm not seeing the progress because it's me, but if I think back to when I first injured myself, I couldn't even sit up in this chair to entertain you all. So I have to walking.
Yeah, if you're thinking about making it home, then that's the worst feeling. Just focus on the next step, literally, and you'll make it there. I had some other things online that made me happy. This one, Bert and Ernie. So right. This is the real gay agenda right here.
That is the gay agenda, let me tell you. That is
right. Just being boring people.
Right.
Wait a minute. No, it's Bert is the top.
I don't know. Bert's reading the book. I think that makes him a bottom. I'm sorry.
I mean, look at the picture. His legs already up. So
Yeah, Bert's the bottom in that. Sorry.
What is Ernie eating? Go back. What is Ernie eating? Was that popcorn?
He's eating
Popcorn.
popcorn watching a movie. He's definitely the top.
yep, he already holding himself.
They already got some cocktails going.
I will never be able to look at Bert Ernie the same now. Thank you for ruining my childhood.
Well, okay, this is a t-shirt idea.
I actually have that already, Malcolm.
You do? Okay.
I made that. So if you, I have the cash.
And then I guess my maybe a thirst trap. I was just watching this dude do squats.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Everybody.
I just saying that booty though.
That's too much ass. That is too much ass. Too much ass. I'm gonna get a neck break.
But
Having
that
not been
was
injured
solid. It was solid
having not
ass,
suffered
though.
enough.
It was so much ass.
Yeah, that is a great way to build insecurity in myself. I'm gonna pass on that. I can't do nothing but you for you with all that. I can't do nothing for you.
Right, because I'll be like, oh, that's wonderful.
Okay,
Yeah,
I got
those like National Geographic things where the lion jumps on the elephant. How is he gonna take this motherfucker down?
And I got one more.
Go ahead.
I got one more. It's just a video. Mark posted this on his page.
Many people struggle with this common type of human being. Do-nothing bitches are vampires of other people's joy. Instead of living authentically, they feed off masking their true selves, doing nothing and criticizing others who actually put themselves out there. Do-nothing bitches can be highly manipulative. So here are some gold standard clapbacks when a do-nothing bitch starts with their bullshit. When they start to claim you're too much, offer them a mirror and tell them to look for less. Draw a diagram that identifies where your business is and where their business is to visually show them they're in the wrong area. Remind them of the ancient proverb, to fuck around is to find out, and the more they fuck around, the more they're going to find out. So the next time you encounter a do-nothing bitch, hold your head high and know their obsession with you is masking their jealousy of your confidence, your freedom in your self-expression, and most importantly, your authenticity. And also, fuck them. They're toxic.
Send that
Do
to
nothing,
me
bitches.
Yeah.
Yes. do up with bitches. What was it? This age-old parable or whatever. It's like fuck around and find out. The more you fuck around, the more you find out.
I think that started back in 47 when my mother was born. She was the first of the clapback bitches. You know?
Yes, I love good clapbacks.
So,
That's cute.
you know, being in this room sick for a month or more, I remember my mother, my stepfather was a notorious womanizer. And I remember this woman my stepfather was seeing who, shout out to him. He just passed away last week. So shout out to Roland Bland. You did what needed to be done. You were fantastic. You gave me a magical childhood. You bought me a fucking ice cream truck when I was 14. You probably gave me my business acumen. He bought me an ice cream truck, and every summer I had to research, stock it, how much to sell so the ice cream wouldn't go bad. And so I didn't realize it, but the money I made were my own school clothes. So fantastic. Hats off to my parents. They were wonderful. But my mother got out at this stoplight and whooped this woman's ass at the goddamn stoplight. And I was maybe 7, 8 years old. And my mother got back in. She wasn't mad or nothing. She's like, sit down. Put your back there. Put your feet up in the seat. Sit down. And she put on her lipstick, and this woman was slumped over I don't know if she was dead or not. I don't think so. But, you know, this woman was slumped over the goddamn steering wheel. And that's the first clapback I ever seen. She straightened her wig. She got in the car. She put her lipstick on, and she dropped me off at school. Peace, mama. You a bad bitch. Absolutely.
It kind of reminds me of my grandmother. She was like that. Like
You just
she
bad.
was like, I mean, the whole Medea type stereotype.
Just
grandmother
grandmother.
kind of, yeah, that's my grandmother. She was that. She literally was one of those packing heat, and I was just like, God damn, like was she pulling out the gun? She ain't fucking around.
She will fuck you up. She will fuck you up. I remember my aunt saying, God rest her soul, she just died last year, but I remember my aunt saying at my mother's funeral, I was, crying uncontrollably. But my aunt turns, she hugged me, and she hugged me. She was like, my mother had like 1,000+ people at her funeral, and my aunt says, well, all these people at your mama's funeral, I thought she was gonna say some shit like because they love her. And this bitch said to make sure that bitch dead. Oh my God! Cream, what brought you joy, and or not this week?
I got some new frames and some new contacts today. Not today, but a couple days ago, and of course they're not in yet. But I'm looking forward to them because they're so cute, and
well, they're cutie patootie just like you are. So indeed, we cannot wait to see.
And also I've been struggling with my prescription for a while, kind of like not wanting to go to the doctor and get it. Just how it is, just keep procrastinating. And so I'm looking forward to being able to see crystal clear again and not just okay. You know what I mean? So I look forward to that.
Get you some of those like microfiber cloths. I had to learn that shit to clean your glasses, like when you got the new ones.
Oh yeah,
those what works the best though? What works, but get your ass a ShamWow. Them shits work the best. ShamWow cleans the fuck up.
You can get them real cheap on Amazon. I got like a 20 pack for $20 or something.
All right, let me go Amazon right now.
Yeah.
So it is that time of year. My eyeglass insurance has renewed.
I'm thinking about getting some new frames actually.
Yeah, I'm in hot pursuit of a new frame, but I'm not gonna. I'm in love with Tom Ford and Burberry, but I'm not. I'm in hot pursuit. I look for them on the secondary or the third market because $895 is
Yeah, I ain't about that. Ain't about that life. You got 300 for me. That's about it. I'll give you 4 frames.
So I have a Donald Trump prediction. I think he's going to expire before he comes to fruition. Because the Simpsons, which are them and Family Guy, I always get it right. They predicted that he was going to die in office, but I think it's going to be a little bit after that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. He's what,
76.
76, yeah.
The Unabomber just imprisoned. I just got a flash from New York News.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah, the Unabomber. Well, good for him. Look at him. How old was he?
Good for him.
Well, no. Listen, this life is hard. Shit.
You ain't wrong about that. If you spend an entire life in prison, it's congratulations for dying.
Yeah, you
get the fuck out of there.
You did your life in prison. You are now free. And I think somebody else died in prison. I said the same thing. I forgot who it was, but I was like, hats off. You did the damn thing. You did what needed to be done.
Oh, Pat Roberts died too, didn't he?
Pat Roberts died?
He did.
Pat Robertson.
Yeah, he was 93.
Yeah.
Last week.
It was last week.
Oh.
But the gays are saying like, well, it's making a great pride so far.
Happy Pride.
And then of course you get the people say, don't speak ill of the dead. It's like, don't be a dick while you're alive.
That is so true. That is so
right.
But that's funny.
It's not like you're digging up shit. It's just what was out there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? The news circle traveled and I didn't know the man was dead.
Yeah,
so the liberals are definitely celebrating.
Don't nobody care.
I know. Not really.
Don't nobody care till they say something stupid.
Well, Pat Robertson is down there with Rush Limbaugh. May they both burn in hell.
Yeah.
When you said that, John, I think about that Ron Reagan commercial. Hi, my name is Ron Reagan, unabashed atheist. Yeah. And I bet he's somewhere pissing off Tammy Faye. It's just really sad. Be sure to join Devon tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he discusses everything nerd. I cannot wait to get my ass out of this house to see Spider-Man in the theater. I do have an AMC movie pass, so I did click on the seat. I had to, I paid for a monthly subscription, so I did make sure that they made sure that they got my shit. So it was good. And a lot of movies I need to catch up on. A lot of great movies coming out this summer, so hopefully I'll be willing to go check them out. Also, Malcolm will be back on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where he will bring to you news, everything internet-based that he loves. Afro.
I'm going to talk about insecurities. I'm actually working on a topic on that. Like people's, yeah.
I'm insecure about talking about my insecurities.
Well, the funny thing is, it's always a matter of degree. We all have insecurities, so just about.
Well, yeah, we do, and sometimes we discover new ones when we spend incredible amounts of time alone. So I'll have a lot to say about that.
Yeah,
shit ain't even know I had. I'm like, oh, wait, when did that pop up? And make sure you follow John on Instagram at the Double J Chronicles ___, where he will always never disappoint. And y'all keep the tank pictures coming. We will be judging in July.
Oh god,
tain't nobody's business. Hey, let's do it, y'all. Hey, tain't nobody's business what I do. Right. So that's what you do.
And just if you are sending tank pictures, please moisturize. That's all.
Clean off your bed. Clean off your bed. I hate to
and the mirrors. But
there's nothing worse than somebody who takes a selfie and their mirror is just nasty.
And then you see like ass wart cream and stuff on there.
Dried toothpaste. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
what is it?
Why I don't do selfies. I go outside if I'm taking a selfie. I don't want y'all seeing that shit. Judging my bedroom.
And for God's sake, if you're going to do porn in your bedroom, clean your bedrooms up. I'm tired of seeing shit all over the place. Like, come on. If you're going to do it, do it right. Don't make us feel like we're in a halfway house.
And put a sheet on the air mattress, too, so.
Or either flip that motherfucker up before you take a picture of it. At least inflate it. Make it look like a bed. Or keep it out of the shot. Keep it out of the shot. So, selfie etiquette, get your shit together. And as we said at the top of the hour, please join Cream Digger on the Cream Digger podcast. He is broadcast everywhere that you see, that you get your broadcasts. He is there waiting. Also, Malcolm brings us a wonderful podcast each and every Tuesday. The Bearcast, the M3 Bearcast. He can also be found on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and any other way where you get your fine podcasts. Join everybody's favorite elder bear in those TikTok streets. Hit the subscribe button, swag _ for life, and he will entertain you. I am really digging those videos of what is it, right or wrong, or who's
am I the asshole?
Yeah, am I the asshole?
Yeah, it is really good.
I often ask myself that question, and generally I am the asshole. So,
you know what? We were talking about this earlier, and I know we're about to wrap up, but I was just looking on Instagram, and somebody posed the question, an OnlyFans that clears $10K a month or the love of your life?
We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's go.
It's just funny we was talking about that.
We'll talk about that and join me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I wish I could be in North Carolina to go to, because I saw it on his Instagram. What is it? Snacks with elders or tea with elders? Something that you all gonna have? Swag? Yes.
Well, it's going to be on Twitch, so you don't have to come to North Carolina.
Oh.
You
I'm
can,
sorry, I misread it.
That's okay. That's okay. But yes, I was invited to stream with some LGBTQ streamers for Pride, and so we will be snacking. I will be here, so you're welcome to join and snack with us. It's gonna be late though. Like
snacks. I mean, you said the right word. I mean,
You got me at snacks. Wait a minute.
I got you snacks.
John,
Oh,
you got
okay.
me thinking about those fucking Snicker popcorn. This fucking devil.
What? Back up.
He
Say what
had
now?
some snacks on Wednesday that were like Snickers
Snickers
bars
and
with
popcorn.
popcorn.
Who had
And
that?
I went and looked.
John did.
And I went. I was getting my groceries. I put it in my basket, bro. I did.
Well, you started it, Malcolm, because you were talking about the pork rinds that you've been eating. So.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's funny, I took both of them out my cart when I finally got done. I had the pork rinds in there too. And I saw both of them in the cart, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't have both. Shit, I don't need either one of them. I'm out.
That is so crazy.
But they do look so good. Oh,
Did they have the other flavors? Or
they
just
did.
Snickers?
They had so many. They had so many flavors.
Oh, that sounds so good.
It does.
It
After,
is.
what was the name of them? What was the name of them pork rinds again?
It was a 4505 lime and chili pepper. It's in the ethnic section because it's in Spanish. It's one of those. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so fucking good.
I bet you it is in the ethnic section.
I saw a bag of those today when I went to Publix, but for some reason the bags seemed really like they were almost empty. I was
they did size-flation thing instead of raising the prices.
Same. That's the
They made
popcorn
them
thing.
smaller.
Yeah.
So now I eat the whole bag. I don't feel guilty about
Yeah.
it. So these bags are small now.
Right. Cleve, have you guys had a date for a wedding?
Yeah, they are.
No, but we are gonna go get our marriage license on Monday, we think.
So y'all doing it.
So we got 90 days from then to do something. So
y'all are not playing. Let me go and get myself and get these old legs together. Give me old tuxedo or something. But thank you for giving me a goal. I just invited my damn self. Look.
It's gonna be real. Whatever we do is gonna be very justice of the peace vibes.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be but we will have a party though eventually, but we're not gonna have at least I don't think so. He keeps going, well, what about my sister? They probably would want to be there, and then this person might really want to be there.
Oh.
He's getting very quick.
Very
Very Carrie Bradshaw.
It's starting out as like a little intimate affair. Next thing you know, it's gonna be a church of 1,000 people.
So mine is only gonna get as big as his side gets, because I can't have all his side be big and my side be little. So
I feel you.
We got you. We're gonna go there and make a lot of noise and stuff. Yeah,
I'm just gonna bounce it out. So it's all up to him, really.
So let me tell you,
we will make up for the difference.
A few years ago, I went to my first gay wedding, and it was wonderful. It was a dinner party, and it was a dinner. It was only like 12 people there, and they got married during dinner, and it was fantastic. We had dinner and a reception and the thing right in there, and I asked because I'm a cost analysis guy, and he said the whole thing was like $2,000.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and he was like amazing. And
that's great.
Think outside the box. I think.
Yeah, he was like, we just don't believe in spending it, and they went.
Yeah.
I convinced them for their honeymoon to go to Costa Rica. So if you want a great honeymoon, think about Costa Rica. Puerto Vallarta is very gay friendly and very inexpensive. I think Puerto Vallarta, with plane tickets and the money I spent for a week, I think I spent $800.
Oh wow!
Right, because the peso ain't nothing, and the Puerto Vallarta itself is very gay friendly. Like all the clubs, all the strip clubs are basically man for man.
Y'all ain't going nowhere. If we go somewhere, I'm gonna be laid up in the venue, what do you call it, the all inclusive, and go from.
But this is cheaper than the all inclusive though. If you
is it?
Look into Puerto Vallarta. It's cheaper.
Okay.
Because the hotel. We'll talk off. Also, join me next Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will bring you all the hijinks and bullshit from my life. Hopefully, I will be bringing it to you from another location. I'm going to get my ass together and figure this shit out. All right, so as always, please join us on Patreon. Well, you can help us produce the show. And also, do you have an affirmation for the week, Malcolm?
Yes, yeah.
Go on, roll with that beautiful bean footage. Thank you.
If you're willing to be ridiculous, you will become very lovable. Lot of people will fall in love with you because you're stupid. Really. They think you're cute. So, don't bother about what somebody is thinking. What somebody is thinking is their problem, isn't it? What is happening in their mind is their problem, yes or no? Are they coming and telling you, you're ridiculous? That means they're very helpful.
Craig?
Yes.
Oh,
sorry.
okay. I didn't see you no more.
Right. I was
We're on
plugging.
Patreon now.
Okay, cool. That's interesting. So be the fool so people like you. I like it.
I think it's more don't bother what other people like, you know.
Yeah, I know what he meant. I was just being an asshole. I know what he meant. I was being a dick today. Yeah, great show, guys. Great show as always. Less pain today, so I kind of sat here. It was cool.
That's good.
Yeah, less pain today. But congratulations on the pending nuptials. I tell you how exciting about.
Thank you. Y'all got me. I'm all in Amazon now, looking at food. I got some whatever you call it, whatever these 4505s in there.
Churros.
I got me some of
See,
that.
when you said you was on Amazon, I thought, Lord, he get ready to put a wish list out.
I got some of that candy pop in here. Thank you, John. Yeah.
Oh god.
I got that ShamWow in here.
It's funny though. I do have one.
We'll have to have our
though.
favorite things list.
Right?
Have a list of things that like we're buying or whatever for people.
I fucking love those microfiber cloths, man. I use it on everything, dishes,
Yeah,
my
everything.
glasses.
Me too.
Yes.
Everything. Like,
So
and I
fucking
always buy. I try to buy different colors for different areas.
I think the one I get has like it's like a rainbow. It comes with like 4 of like 7 different colors. Yeah. So.
So I was just like, okay, well, yeah, and I swear by those things. And then, so because I think one day I was doing something with a friend, he was washing his car, and my glasses were filthy, and he was like, "Oh, ShamWow." I was like, and it's sparkling, like you can see from here in New Jersey. I was like, wow.
Yeah, they sell them like in big towels. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I use those on the car too, but I mean, they sell little small ones that are like the size of washcloths.
That's what I was trying. I think I got minis. That's what I think I got.
Yeah.
That works, yeah. In fact, I need to order me some today, actually.
Yeah, they're really good.
So, what other delicious snacks are y'all snacking on now?
Yeah,
I'm always in the market for a new snack. So, what y'all got? Since I'm in here making a cart now. Go ahead. What y'all eating?
That's a good question.
Wait a minute. So who makes these Snickers popcorn?
It's M&M Mars. Like the company, it's actually, what's so crazy is that the plant is here in Albany. Like that's
Get
what
the
they make
fuck
it
out
here.
of here.
They make them here. They do.
Bro, we are no longer friends. You have been holding secrets.
The fact is, I know someone who works there, so I can get those shits on bulk.
Oh,
I can't do it. I can't.
What are we getting in bulk?
No. But no, he does get candy for free because it's like a lot of misshapen candy that comes out of the factory. Like, I mean, just like weird looking
his
M&Ms.
sugar is under control. I would have
It's like a garbage can full of candy that they're just gonna throw out. Like, it's just like,
yeah, can you give him my address?
I'm sure that is like a perk.
I'll be like
a box
little
of
orphan
misshapen
Annie.
candy.
Like, I'll be like little orphan Annie. Sir, I know you don't know me, but
Little melted Snicker bars that don't look right.
I see they got an 18 pack of that candy pop with a variety pack where you can try all of the flavors.
Yeah, I think they're like 1 or 2 ounce bags. Though.
Yeah,
they're not
one
real
out.
big.
They're not big. Yeah.
Okay. Get started. Don't do it, man. Eat some peaches Get some strawberries. Get your sweet tooth with some fruit, man. Don't do
I do need some fresh fruit too. I do need
Yeah.
that in my life.
Cherries are good.
That's
Yeah.
why I take.
I mean, I'm still ordering this because I gotta try, but I will go get me some fruit today as well.
Now you get that from the grocery store, or where you buying that from?
I'm getting this off of Amazon. This pop stuff.
Can you send me the link, please? Thanks.
I sure will.
It does look good. I want the Twix ones. Those are the ones I think
I haven't tried that one yet.
Twix and maybe Heath Bar. Heath Bar is so good with salty.
Lord have mercy now.
I've only had
Everybody else is doing it.
I've only had the Snickers and the Oreo, so I need to.
Okay.
I've had the Oreo before. The Oreo is good.
Yeah, I like Oreo too. That does sound
Yeah.
good. I mean, I haven't tried that, but I just like Oreos. But yeah, I was thinking about at least maybe getting a bag if I go to the movie theater. I might do that because I want to see the Spider-Verse. Also.
Yeah, me too.
It is so good.
Yeah,
Oh,
I heard they already made the sequel. It's going to be the final one.
Mm.
They made them at the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty cool. You don't have to wait 5 years for the next one.
And of course, the races have come out, and they're like, there's some dude on TikTok who's like, yeah, there was like only 3 white guys in it, and
Yeah.
like tossed his hair, and it's like,
It was really crazy. I was seeing some of the shit about the Little Mermaid really did get to me. So they had to shut down the Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, and one other site because of how frequently racists were downvoting the movie.
right.
And so one of the things they actually, and this is one of the things I was talking about with Growler or Grinder, with the the murders that are happening on their app. What they did was they changed it to where you had to verify that you've seen the movie before you can rate it.
Nice.
And when you did that, the rating was like 95%. Outside of that, it was like 1%, something like that. Right? It was super low. And so like there are simple changes in that regard. They changed it because they wanted their ratings to be accurate, right?
Yeah.
They knew that people were gaming the system. It's amazing that they can't do the same thing on some of these dating apps where you at least can track on the user side whether the person is making the same, profile over and over, like that you can track them between their profiles so that, there's some level of, warning when you say, oh, this is the 25th profile that this person has made. You know what I mean?
Right.
They can do it. They just probably don't want to do it.
So
They don't want to do it.
What site is the killer on?
They're on all the sites. I'm just saying that this happens to be one of the bigger sites. I'm talking about Grinder. The reason that they're so inundated with these sorts of, they're not usually murders. They're usually robberies, right? They lure some horny gay dude out to somewhere and they rob them, right? Sometimes they end up dead, and it's happening at a increasing frequency. So, considering the fact that Grindr is such a big app, that's the reason why it's a problem, or it should be, is because
they've been doing that to niggas, robbing their
of
ass.
course. I'm just saying it's the scale of it. Of course they've been doing it. I'm just saying that the actual bodies are piling up. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're just some reckless gay dudes who, of course, society generally doesn't care about. And even amongst gay men, we don't.
And that's why they're not going to do anything about it, because that's what it is until it affects cis, straight, white men.
Or even
they don't care.
I think to a certain degree, even if it was a cis, straight white man, they would say, well, you were looking for dick. So, I mean, it's your.
Oh my God.
Speaking of which, happened to Pete Buttigieg and his husband Chastity.
Somebody sent me this TikTok, and it's this truck driver who is like parked on the side of the road, and this little white man, he's like, I don't know if he's coming to see me because like I'm on his property, or if he's like just some racist or whatever. So like a majority of the video is just him waiting for this white man to just show up at his truck, and the man walks up to his truck. He said, "Hey, I just want to suck your dick."
Wow.
Oh
And
my!
what was the truck driver's response? Sure, thanks.
The truck driver's response was, "Excuse me." He's like, "I just want to suck your dick." He's like, "No, thank you, sir. I'm not interested in that." He's like, "Oh, okay, cause I'm bisexual, you know." And there used to be this man who used to come through here, and I'm gonna be honest with you. The
Wow.
dude seemed like he maybe wasn't all the way there, but
Okay.
still, the fact
Yeah.
that like this video is just all of us waiting for this man to come up to see what he wants to talk to this black man about, and it's, "Can I suck your dick?"
Is that what Goodell was waiting on? He's waiting on this trick. He's waiting
I mean, that's what it seems.
Right. That is,
waiting on this trick. Yeah.
that is so awesome. I'm running out of TV, y'all. I never thought I would say that. I'm running out of TV.
TV.
I need a new show to watch.
The last season of Manifest is on. I don't know if anybody's watching that. I'm watching it,
I watched the first two. It was pretty good.
but they're finally coming to a close. So this is like the last season. They did it like they did the Ozarks. It was the last season's in 2 parts. So they finally they put out the second.
Well, you know
part.
what? I just realized I haven't watched the last season of that.
Of what?
Yeah, Ozark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might want to see that.
Ozark. What's his name? The Arnold Schwarzenegger. You watch his new TV show that's on Netflix?
I
Bar.
haven't seen that.
You know,
It's fun.
My whole thing is I suspect, I don't know for sure, that he's maybe a racist. So I try to, But
Well, the movie, it's fun. I put that in the category of Chick-fil-A. It's already out there.
Yeah.
I'm like Jennifer. What's her name from Broadway? Jennifer. Dreamgirls. Jennifer.
Holiday.
I'm not
There
going.
was do you have Peacock?
Yes.
Have you seen Mrs. Davis?
No, I've seen
I've
Mrs.
heard it's really good. I've heard it's really good.
So you heard me. So you
heard
heard Mrs. Kasha Davis, but not Mrs. Davis.
I didn't get that. What did you say?
It was a
Kasha
RuPaul.
Davis.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
great.
never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Are we watching All Stars?
Oh, we are watching All Stars.
How do you feel about the last episode?
The last episode was really good. The one from yesterday.
Yeah,
it was a really good episode.
I hate Candy. I'm just going to put it out there.
I like Candy keeping it interesting. Keep it interesting, Candy. Like, shake it up.
Oh my god, I fucking hate her, y'all.
I don't care.
Greg was texting me. I hate Candy. I said I don't really care for Katie that much, but I did feel like she did really good.
She did. She turned it up this last episode.
Greg's like, I can't stand that bitch. I hate her.
No, because she looks like she has Down syndrome. No slight to those who do. That Miss Piggy nose that she has. She looks like always looks like a Bronx trash man in a dress. There's nothing.
It's not a beauty contest, so.
And she will not win it.
But I will say, as far as the whole, discord between her and Jimbo and Heidi, the consensus is Heidi is telling the truth. That they don't believe that and
it's going to come to a head next episode because apparently Rue has to come into the workroom, and then all fingers pointing towards her. Because stop trying to make it because of another girl threatens to go home.
Oh yeah.
But you can't pressure all the girls out of the competition.
Well,
let me tell you something. She will never win.
Well, listen, if the girls are so weak that Candy talking shit and lying makes you want to quit the show, bye, bitch.
Let me say this because I don't know if anybody follows Evie Oddly on social media, but she put out a whole laundry list of first off, she said it took World of Wonder over a year to actually pay her for when she won. and she has a lot of gripes. She said, I can understand why some of the girls would want to quit, because she says y'all really don't know the kind of pressure that the producers put them under. So it really doesn't take that much for one of them to just snap and kind of be like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm done with it. So, you know, because there's been a lot of allegations of, like, the things they tell them that they can do. Like, for instance, I think one of the things, and I never knew this was a fact, they have to provide their own food. They don't get fed by production. They have to bring their own food. They have to,
and that's unusual. It is.
It's very unusual. It's like,
because I'm just saying, like,
do here and you're not gonna feed them. Like,
typically, like any Hollywood set, just even random people who are there get fed. I mean,
wait a minute, they have craft services. They just don't feed them dinner.
Yeah, I think that's like when they're in their hotel and shit. They don't feed them over there. But my thing is this: Evie Ollie did the show twice. Okay, so it couldn't have been too fucking bad.
And she addressed that, and she says, "I know." She said, "I know. I did it twice, and so it sounds like I'm just being sour grape." She's like, "But
yeah, it do sound like
sour grape." She's not the first person who has said that, like, the conditions on the show are really not all that it's cracked up to be. And I can kind of sort of believe that. Because
well, it's a competition show. What do they want?
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand it's a competition show.
They
but
only
at the
there
same
what,
time,
5 weeks?
You still need to treat people like human beings and not treat them like cattle.
No, fuck that shit.
Like, we're supposed to be a civilized society, are we not?
No,
ain't nobody saying nothing about it. Just like them people that do Survivor all the time. They treat them people so awful.
No, I think it's a matter of expectations. It's like, oh, they're so nice on camera, but no, this is a business, bro. We're just trying to make money.
Right.
Yeah. It is.
Like, everybody hating on Tyra Banks now after the fact. All models coming out talking shit about Tyra. I'm so tired of seeing these bitches talk about Tyra Banks. I was like, girl, nobody would have gave a fuck about you if it wasn't for Tyra Banks.
It's a good point.
Can you put a little bit of respect on her name?
Right.
And now she getting Disney money because she producing the goddamn Dancing with the Stars. She ain't thinking about you.
Yeah.
But, go ahead.
No, it is true. I mean, I hate to hear that sort of criticism about someone getting too full of themselves, but it's literally true. Like, when you reach a certain level, it's like, oh, now I expect these things that really you didn't have much expectation when you started. And I mean, that's a good thing in a way. It's a good thing to say that your standards have increased, but don't act like you brand new either.
Right.
Because you're complaining about it. You knew what it was.
Exactly. And it's like, to judge that moment by today's standards of progress is not completely fair, because we were all watching it and no one had a problem with what we saw. They're like, oh my gosh, or not to the degree that it was all online or people was up in arms about it. I'm sure.
Right.
I think I do recall the race swapping going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, this is what's so funny. Like, people will go back and talk about blackface episodes. Some of your favorite shows back in the day had people wearing blackface. It wasn't always like directly making fun of black people. It was like characters in a blackface moment, and no one would do that shit today. And I don't know, like, some people have decided to erase those episodes from their pages, but there exists some of your favorite shows in the 80s and 90s. These white characters were in blackface, and you're like, what? In the 80s? Yes. So,
oh my gosh, I think some dude, I think I saw somebody talk about, like, they just put it out there. They showed like Rickety Rocket, and I'm like, oh my god, I remember that show. It's like the society has gone so far, and you got, like, jet cars and everything else, and like the black people living in this little shack all by themselves. It's like, dang, I didn't even think about that like that, but that's a good point.
But yeah. So, oh my goodness. If this Greg is gone, I might have to go in a sec. Something before we go, though. Swag, I need to get the Discord link so I can put it on Patreon for patrons.
Okay.
And I think you have to end your stream when we go to Patreon because I can't end it without deleting it from your page. So something for future broadcasts because it's broadcasting on your channel. And I tried to end it for patrons, but I think you have to do it yourself. What else? I put a longer YouTube video on Patreon in the general chat. It's about season 5, episode 1 of Black Mirror. If you haven't seen it, I'm not making it a topic, but what I'm trying to do on Discord is, the videos that I watch are nice, but I would like to talk about things in more depth. I mean, that's kind of what I was thinking about with the books. Like, if it's a deeper topic, we're just skimming the surface, and I would like to do some deeper dives. So instead of books, I'm thinking about doing like longer videos, maybe 10, 20-minute YouTube videos. And there's this one video that someone sent me about fighting vipers, which was season 5, episode 1 of Black Mirror. And if you remember, it was like these two friends who were in this VR game end up in an affair with one another in the game.
Yes.
Did you see that?
Yeah, was the black guys?
Yeah. It was interesting about it is this is an example of colorblind casting because it's interesting. The show, that episode was never meant to have, it was never, explicitly written for a black cast.